Stephen A., is the interest overblown?
I think it is. And here's why I think it is. Because it's not the summer yet. If it were the summer, it wouldn't be overblown. Because I definitely think that Anthony Davis will be out of New Orleans this summer. I happen to know of people who have reached out to him and let him know it would be a big mistake for him to leave New Orleans, considering the fact that as of June, he could sign a 5-year, $240 million deal. You know, the level of wealth that he could ultimately accumulate. For example, if you look at Damian Lillard will be eligible as of this June to sign for $240 million. Dame, if he ever had to leave Portland, would prefer to be in New York rather than L.A. because he don't like that paparazzi kind of atmosphere. But make no mistake about it, Dame want that money first. Dame ain't thinking about leaving until he get that super max kind of deal. He ain't trying to hear it, okay? And there are people that are reminding Anthony Davis that is what he's walking away from, particularly when you're the caliber of player that's eligible. If you stay after that, you'd be eligible to be the first $300 million player in NBA history the following year. So you're basically talking about potentially walking away from about $87 to $97 million that you probably would never get back. This is what people are saying to him. The level of validity to that, it seems plausible, but obviously he's making a lifestyle decision. And I think that ultimately he will leave New Orleans this summer. And I think he'll get to the point where he won't even care whether it's about the Lakers or not. He'll just want out. But I will tell you also this. It's overblown, to answer the question directly, because I have been of the mindset for the last several weeks he wasn't going anywhere. And the reason why I said that is how many times did I come on this airwaves, Max, and say this? League officials, I'm not talking about just the league office doing their own thing. I'm talking about team officials, owners, etc. People have been in the air of Dell Demps saying, do not cave, do not capitulate to the demands of what they want to label LeBron James and Clutch Sports led by Rich Paul. You do that, you're going to damage the league. That's what they're telling Dell Demps, and they've also told Dell Demps, you make this move now, prior to waiting for all parties to get involved and throw the kitchen sink at you this summer, you won't have a GM job come next season. So when I heard they were telling him that, I came to you and I said, I don't believe for 1 second he's going to make this move unless ownership makes him, which I don't think they will. And as a result, I don't anticipate that Anthony Davis will be moved before the 3 p.m. deadline. I never anticipated that, and that's the only reason I would say this is overblown.
You might be right. In fact, you're probably right. Even when I predicted he would be traded, and I'm still predicting it, I acknowledge that that would be against the odds.
Sure.
Why do I think that upset can occur? And why do I think it's not overblown? Mm-hmm. Because on the surface, you'd think open it up to the bidding and you'll get a better offer.
Right.
Now, if the Pelicans really believe that Lonzo and Ingram really have no upside, there's no one in that package that's ever going to really be an all-star. And I don't mean like a one-time all-star, but like a real all-star caliber player. Then, okay, there's nothing the Lakers can do. They just didn't do a good enough job drafting and developing. But if the sense is that Ingram, Kuzma, think about the package that they're being offered right now. Of 5 players who are all real rotation players, like several of whom are real starting 5 players. At the point guard position, Lonzo Ball. At the 2, Josh Hart. At the 3, Ingram. 4, Kuzma. And 5, Zubac. They're giving them almost a starting 5. By the way, they're all young. They're all cheap. But they're not just draft picks who you need to identify and then develop and wait for a year or two while they're no good. They already have some experience. They're already seasoned, and yet they're still team controlled for a while. And on top of that, the Lakers are giving them 2 first-round picks. Like, do you think you're going to get a better deal than that from a team like the Celtics are trying to drive up the price on the Lakers? Really, you're going to trade Jason Tatum when AD has told you he ain't signing in Boston? Unless Danny Ainge believes that he can really change AD's mind or is taking that gamble, then what they're trying to do is drive the price up. The thing is, the Lakers, that's all they got. There's no more driving the price up. This is everything they have worth anything other than LeBron, who you're not going to get. They're offering to the Pelicans. So in a weird, and they have to do it because they need to get the thing done now. In a weird way, they may fetch less for Anthony Davis. Well, the Lakers' offer will still be there. I don't know. You know how this is all going to shake out? In a weird way, they may be driving down the market on AD if they wait until the offseason. Real quick, Jerry West is like Bill Belichick in the sense that draft picks are worth more to the Clippers than other teams because he's better at identifying talent, and then his team's going to be better at developing it. The Pelicans really want just more picks that they have to guess on and then develop into stars over time. That's better than having players already developed somewhat.
What you have to remember is this. First of all, if you're of the mindset, think about this. You're in New Orleans. Because even though most people, agents, executives, people like that I've spoken to believe that Anthony Davis can't make up the money that he'll lose if he were to leave New Orleans. That's not how Rich Paul feels. That I can tell you that. That's number one. But number two, if you listen to what you're hearing about what New Orleans wants, they know they can't get the caliber of Anthony Davis in return. So what you want is you want to monitor this draft lottery. Who's going to have that number one pick? And what potentially will they have to offer you? New York Knicks are going to be in the draft lottery. Los Angeles Lakers potentially may be in the draft lottery. I think their pick, I forgot which pick belongs to Boston, but you got to pay attention to all of those things. Here's why. Zion Williamson is box office. And if you're New Orleans and you can get the number one overall pick, who people believe will be box office, then what you can sell to your fan base is that we're building towards the future, and here's a reason to be interested in us. And oh, by the way, because of what Max Kellerman has religiously pointed out, how many years the players are locked up for. Not only do you have a number one pick, not only do you have somebody who's box office, you have someone you don't have to concern about leaving you at least for the next 4 years. So those are the kind of things when you see the Clippers and how they got picks. When you see the Knicks, how they got a couple of first-round picks. When you see the teams that are talking about capturing, and Boston already having something in their saddle, etc. These are the kind of things that New Orleans is paying attention to, combined with whatever else I told you.